So you have entered your data into an Excel sheet, but you can see that it doesn't look good. In this example, the ID column is too wide compared to its contents, whereas the skill column is too narrow. The when acquired column is too narrow too. The dates are displayed as hashes. How can you adjust it? If you want to manually adjust the column's width, you can simply click on the border between the column you want to change and the next column in the column name row and simply drag it to the desired width. The advantage with this approach is that you can adjust the width freely, but the disadvantage is that it is difficult to pick the exactly right width. An alternative solution solving this problem is to simply double-click on the border between the column you want to change and the next column in the column name row. This will set this column's width exactly just to fit its contents. You do not have to do it for each column separately. You can mark all the columns you want to adjust by clicking on the first column of your choice and dragging the mouse cursor with the mouse button held down over all columns that you want to mark. Then simply double-click on any border between the marked columns in the column name row. If you want to mark all columns, or all contents in general, just click on the top left-hand corner of the sheet where the small triangle arrow is. This will mark all content. You can then click on any border between columns in the column name row to adjust all columns to exactly fit their contents. Notice that empty columns are not changed. All these options plus some more are available in the Format drop-down menu available on the Home ribbon tab. For instance, you can specify the width of the selected columns by choosing Column Width option from the Format menu. By the way, the default unit of measure for column width is the number of characters of the font defined in the normal style of your workbook. Here we say 20 characters. You can then adjust the width of all columns by marking all content and selecting Format, and then Autofit column width. Again, empty columns will not change their width. In the Format menu, you can also specify the default width of columns in your worksheet. Here we set it to 5. Again, the default unit of measure is the number of characters. Please notice that columns with data are not adjusted. Everything you can do with column width, you can do with row height too, with the exception of the default row height. You can also adjust the row height by dragging the border between two rows up and down. You can mark a few rows and adjust their height by selecting Format and then Row Height. Double-clicking on the border between two rows will auto-fit row height. And if you mark all content and select Format and then auto-fit row height, all rows with data will be adjusted to fit their contents. Check out our other videos to learn more about various Microsoft Office applications.